What's up, everybody? It's a stable ad coming at you with another video of just sort of things that I'm looking at. This is one of those more kind of informal recordings that I do every single week that covers just some of the things I'm looking at in the realm of stablecoin investing, and where I'm looking at APYs and I'm looking at different blockchains and I'm just sort of exploring things. And so the thing that I sort of noticed this week is I think we're in that part of the sort of crypto bull cycle, if you will, where you have a lot of these alternative blockchains, these other blockchains that are beginning to push DeFi on their own blockchain. And so they're trying to sort of capture the growth of the space. And because of that, they're using all different types of incentives to help grow their blockchains. And we can kind of just see this if we look here. So again, kind of where I like to always start is DeFiLlama. Again, I go to stablecoin pools here. I'll just show you what I'm doing here. Just so we can kind of start from scratch here at DeFiLlama, in case you've missed some of these other videos here. Then I go down, I scroll down here over to yields. DeFiLlama has tons of other stuff that you can kind of enjoy on here. Like you can look at all different kinds of categories of things where you can get lots of data. But for now, I'm just going to show you what I look for in stablecoin pools. And then I come over here. So I'm under yields, go to stablecoin pools. So I'm looking at stablecoins specifically. And I'm just going to pop over here the APY and kind of take a look at what's going on APY wise. And you can kind of just see here, a few months ago when we looked at this, or when I looked at this, you can look under here under the chain, under the blockchain here. This is which blockchain these positions are in. It was almost all Ethereum, these first 20 or so positions. You'd have one or two that popped up from other chains, but we were at that point in the crypto market cycle where only really DeFi was happening on Ethereum, which is the most robust network that has the deepest total value locked in at the deepest amount of investments. And we're seeing that flip right now. We're seeing other chains really rush to build up those chains. And so you can see here, in their top, like our top 20, we only see one Ethereum position here, two here, three here. That's it. Three Ethereum positions in our top 20. And that's, just looking at the APY there. Now, I'm not saying that all these positions are good, but it's just sort of saying to me that we're at this point in the cycle where things are sort of switching or changing here. You just look, you keep looking down, you see all these other ones. You see some Ethereum spread in here with Curve, and here with P-Pods. But then you see right here, this is the Sonic blockchain. This is Avalanche, right? This is Coinbase, Base's blockchain. We got Mantle, which is another blockchain built on top of the Ethereum EVM. You've got Sonic here, you've got Polygon. And so what I'm starting to see and what I'm starting to think about is, okay, at this point in the cycle, we may want to consider taking a look at some other blockchains, because if they're going to pump out all these rewards at you, then that could be really, really enticing. This is that point in the market where instead of 10%, you can get 20, 25, 30% APY on decent blockchains. I'm going to take a look here just to reward APY, just so you can kind of see. And you can see, look at all these rewards we're pumping out here. So Aerodome is putting out 308% for this pool. This is not something I would put money into because it's not a stablecoin only pool, but it just goes to show you it's not a small pool. It's decent. It's almost $1 million in there. And they're paying really solid returns because they're trying to pump this up, right? We see this Full Sail one on the Sui blockchain. Sui's a pretty new blockchain that's had a ton of growth this year, and Full Sail is a popular decentralized exchange. This is a pool here, and we can kind of just see here. Here it shows 28% here. I don't know that this is actually real. It only shows that it's paid $37 in fees. Maybe that's just the last day. That's not really good for me. But again, if you were on the Sui blockchain or you wanted to put money on the Sui blockchain, that could be something worth kind of taking a look at. And we can see all different kinds of things here. We can take a look at AshSwap which is, oh, it's not even loading up here. That's just another decentralized exchange on a different chain. We can take a look at LiquidSwap, which is another decentralized exchange here on Aptos. And you can take a look at, here we got 10% here and 9% here. And then what you can do with those positions is then once you get those positions, you go to the farms and then you can stake those. It's not going to show it here, but you can stake those positions in those farms there and earn additional percentage. I've seen vaults in Euler, which is a great, a terrific, another terrific lending platform that's been around for a long time, and they're paying huge amounts here. And this is on, we can see on, here are some lending pools over on Euler as well. So again, I'm just sort of exploring, and I'm starting to see here that we've got some serious rewards being paid on these other platforms. Again, it's like I've said this, I mentioned this in a bunch of other videos, that I always look for, I try to look at this category here, total value locked, right? I don't want any small positions like this $34,000 position. That's not enough for me. That pool can drop really, really quickly, and those rewards, even though they're paying 79%, means you're not going to make any money there, and they can eventually your money can be frozen there. So I stick to sort of bigger pools like this one, for example. We'll take a look at Euler, a USDC pool on Avalanche. It's got 3.28 million. It's paying about 40%. And here are the rewards here. So Avalanche is really incentivizing the growth of this pool. Avalanche is I'm going to probably do a deep dive on Avalanche itself. And let me kind of show you what I'm seeing here. So DeFi Dojo, it's not even an account that I follow, but I happened to see a tweet by him where he kind of talks about a bunch of things happening on the Avalanche protocol. And he's talking about here, Euler is consistently giving away like 45% here on USDC incentives. Black Hole's got some big returns. And there's another one here. Silo Finance, 44% for a USDT position. Avant Protocol is another one I've been really, really trying to look at, which has got some really interesting positions here. Take a look at this. You've got 23% for their AVUSD product, which is essentially like a savings account in a stablecoin. And you can stake it and you earn yield on your stake position, 23% in that position. Or you can boost it and earn 42%. It's like a tranche program where they've got a junior tranche and the senior tranche. If you want to take the extra risk, you've got the junior tranche at 42%, meaning if something happens with this pool, that's the first one that's at risk for being liquidated. And then you've got the senior pool at 23%. I mean, that's pretty darn good for a senior pool. Again, I wouldn't put all my money in here, but it's something I'm taking a look at. I'm probably going to do a deep dive on the Avalanche blockchain. And let me just sort of briefly explain why. Avalanche came out, around the same time that Solana kind of came out. So, and they really launched at least Avalanche did, in competition with what was happening on Ethereum after DeFi summer, where the biggest explosion on the Ethereum blockchain was decentralized finance. That meant lending, swapping, providing liquidity on DEXs, doing all this like cool DeFi stuff was just exploding with experimentation on the Ethereum blockchain. And the experience, while it was incredible because no one had done it before with smart contracts, the experience on Ethereum blockchain meant that it was a little bit slow and really, really expensive because the use of the blockchain was growing dramatically, and Ethereum is just an expensive chain because they prioritize decentralization above everything. And then here along came this other blockchain called Avalanche that decided we're going to do a slightly different architecture. We're going to build an EVM compatible blockchain, but we're going to do a slightly different architecture, and we're going to make the user experience much better, and we're going to make the blockchain much cheaper to use. And so we're going to do DeFi on our blockchain, and we're going to incentivize the growth of it, and it's going to be a better experience. And people rushed over to the Avalanche blockchain during that time, and the Avalanche blockchain saw just insane growth with like things like Joe over here, things like Euler started to grow over there, all different kinds of stuff. And so Avalanche already, to me, has a pretty robust DeFi ecosystem. I would not be shy about putting some money over on this blockchain, and I'll probably end up going and putting like something, some small 5 figures over there just to start playing around with. And I'll do an entire video, a deep dive on how I decide to deploy onto this chain using my sort of my portfolio style of a combination of modern portfolio theory and the Half-Kelly criterion over on the Avalanche blockchain. But you can just see here, like just take a look at some of these APYs, 40%, 32%, 31, 20. Right now, it's just the sort of beginning of what you can potentially see over on this blockchain. And I would be willing to bet that Avalanche is going to be putting tons of rewards over to grow these pools, and that these pools are probably going to stay, at least APY wise. I think that the pools and the opportunities are going to stay high for a little bit of a while. And you can also see here what I'm talking about when you look at TVL, right? So you can see here, if we just go with the TVL here, 10 million in Aave, right? $10 million in this Aave pool V3 on Avalanche, and it's paying 12%, 12.5, almost 12.5% on Aave, like one of the safest, most robust lending platforms there is. So they're really trying to grow this thing. Then we take a look at Euler. This is one of the vaults on Euler. It's 11% right now. It's paying 11%. You got 6% base APY, 4.65% reward APY for Avalanche trying to grow this, and there's almost $10 million in this lending pool. These are on the smaller side, right? With Benkey lending, these are on the smaller side, but still 8.4% is not bad if you're spreading out if you're trying to spread out risk. 8.6 million in this pool. Okay, let's take a look at this one. 3.83 million, 17%, right? Let's keep kind of going down. 3.28 million, 40%. 2.82 million, 12%. So, I mean, like this is, to me, I mean, this is just, I'm looking at this and I'm getting kind of giddy here. Maybe you can hear in my voice, like a Beefy. Beefy's another great platform. And the other great part about Beefy too is you can take out insurance on Beefy, turning this sort of like maybe middle of the road portfolio into like a low risk position. If you take out insurance on this, let's take a look at this, right? Like for example, so what Beefy's doing is it's taking your Euler position, which you're already making whatever percent on, and it's pumping it up to 16% here. So you're maybe making 13% on Euler, or 12% on Euler, or 11%, whatever it is, and then Beefy is pumping that up to 16%. And if you can take a look down here, you've got this insurance thing called OpenCover. If we link to it over here, you can take a look that on Beefy, you can buy insurance on it. And what this does is it protects you from hacks. It protects you from not everything that could happen wrong with the chain, but it protects you from a lot of things. So if you put, a small position over here, you put $1,000, $2,000 in this position or whatever, you can take insurance out on it. It's like $4 or $5 for every 30 days. Or you can, increase the duration if you want to keep it for longer, 90 days. I just do 30 days at a time, just in case that APY comes down and it's not nice anymore, and I just renew every 30 days. And then all of a sudden, for me, that takes a sort of middle risk position into a low risk position for me. So, I mean, I'm just looking at all these things and I'm just like, okay, there's opportunity over here. I want to take 5 figures and throw it over to Avalanche and start playing with it. Earlier in the bull market, I didn't want to do that. There were some nice positions on Avalanche, like 2 or 3 that I liked, but I didn't want to do it because what it means is when you do that, you've got to buy the Avalanche token, right? It's an entirely new blockchain. You got to buy some Avalanche token to use as gas fees. Then you got to port money over there, which has a cost to it. But now it's looking really, really sexy for me, and I'm probably gonna put on some money over there. So that's what I'm looking at this month, or this week, excuse me. There's, again, I've mentioned this before when I did the video about layer 1 versus layer 2 blockchains and some some of the alternatives out there that I generally prefer to use. I prefer to use Ethereum because it's the chain I know best, and Ethereum, besides just Ethereum, they also have, we also have Base, which is built on Ethereum. You've got Arbitrum, you've got a bunch of others. But I think we're at the point in the market where you gotta beef up your APY as much as possible. You gotta play around with things, because this is the point in the market where you can make the most APY using just stable coins without taking a ton of risk. And overall, when you look at your yearly APY and you're shooting for 20%, when you take advantage of these bull markets, you really can hit the high end of that 20%, and it can make your year for you. So that's what I'm looking at this week. I hope this was helpful. I love the comments I've been seeing. I'm happy to do videos based on some of the things you guys are asking about. So just keep them coming. Keep those comments, questions, and video ideas coming. And until next time, I'm the Stable Lad.
I'm the Stable Lad. And if you like today's video, please hit that subscribe button. Every week I break down what's happening in the world of stablecoins and why it matters, clearly, calmly, and without the hype. This channel is for educational purposes. It is not meant to be financial advice. So always do your own research and manage your risk wisely.